In this video prepared by Comfort Empresarial Latin America, we are going to study the classifications that we can use to differentiate all types of chillers from industrial refrigeration. If this topic interests you, make yourself comfortable, stay with us, and subscribe to our channel. Let's start by saying that the most common classification, but not the only one, is the one that takes into account the cooling of the chiller condenser. Here we have the chiller water-cooled or air-cooled. It is also common to classify them by the type of compressor the machine uses. However, at a more professional level, we can classify chillers taking into account factors such as 1. Types of chiller depending on the temperature of the liquid to be cooled. 2. Types of chiller according to the cooling capacity of the machine. 3. Chiller types according to the efficiency values or the value of the IPLV parameter. 4. Types of chiller according to the type of cycle. 5. Types of chiller according to the type of refrigerant. We're going to study in just 4 minutes each of these classifications. 1. Chiller according to the temperature of the liquid to be cooled. With this classification we have now conventional industrial chiller for temperatures greater than 35 degrees Fahrenheit B. Industrial chiller for medium-low temperature for values between plus 20 degrees Fahrenheit and plus 35 degrees Fahrenheit C. Low temperature industrial chiller generally between plus 20 degrees Fahrenheit and minus 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Ultra-low temperature industrial chiller for ranges between minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit and minus 112 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's go with the second classification. Types of chiller, depending on the cooling capacity of the machine. In this classification we have a low-capacity chiller are those with a capacity of less than 50 kW or less than 14 tons of refrigeration. In this range, the air-cooled scroll-type compressor chiller stands out. B. Medium-capacity chiller are those with a capacity between 50 and 200 kW, between 14 and 56 tons of refrigeration. In this range, the chiller with several scroll compressors stands out, and the chiller with a screw compressor cooled by water and air. C. High-capacity chiller are those with a capacity greater than 200 kilowatts or greater than 56 refrigeration tons. They constitute the best-selling range in the world. The water-cooled screw chiller stands out. Let's go with the third classification for chillers. Chiller types according to the efficiency values or value of the IPLV parameter. The IPLV parameter is a value that allows us to have an idea of the performance of a water chiller under various operating conditions. So we have L. For a reciprocating compressor chiller with an air-cooled condenser to be considered a chiller with good performance, it must have an IPLV value of less than 0.96 kW per refrigeration ton. B. For a scroll compressor chiller with an air-cooled condenser to be considered a chiller with good performance, it must have an IPLV value of less than 0.86 kW per refrigeration ton. C. For a screw compressor chiller with an air-cooled condenser to be considered a chiller with good performance, it must have a value of IPLV less than 0.98 kW per refrigeration ton. D. For a screw compressor chiller with a water-cooled condenser to be considered a chiller with good performance, it must have an IPLV value of less than 0.45 kW per ton of refrigeration. In the fourth classification, we are going to differentiate the chillers by the operation of their refrigeration cycle. Although most chillers work with the compression refrigeration cycle, we can also find chillers that work with the absorption cycle, which does not use a compressor, but needs a stable heat source to work, and preferably one that is wasted from another process. Now we come to the fifth classification, which refers to the type of refrigerant used by the chiller. The refrigerants used in the chiller are chiller with Rhone 134A, chiller with Cotwood, chiller with ammonia, chiller with refrigerant of the HCFC type, hydrochloric, fluorocarbons, R12, Rhone 123, Rhone 124, and Rhone 151, chiller with propane, chiller with 407C, chiller with 410A, chiller with propane, chiller with 407C, chiller with 410, a chiller with R404, a chiller with R452B, chiller with R454B, chiller with R450, a chiller with R513, a chiller with R454B, chiller with R450, a chiller with R513, a chiller with R1234Z, chiller with R1233ZD, only for centrifugal chillers. Chiller with R1336MZ, chiller with 1234EF, chiller with R32. Thanks for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our channel.